What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Decoded. It is February 21st, 2025, and the market is bleeding. We had a great day today for the most part. It was a nice drop. We had call put scenario. Never even came close to the call side of things. And the put scenario on both charts, which I'll show you in a minute, actually the trade almost happened in its entirety right before the market opened. So that was a little frustrating. So we had to be a little bit more patient and wait for the setup that we wanted to take for our first trade. And I'm going to go ahead and show you that. I don't really have a lot in the way of the live recordings. I mean, I can let you listen to it, but it's kind of boring. So I'll just explain to you what we saw, what we did, and what looked good to us. So our put scenario for both charts are these white lines right here. So we wanted the Qs to be below 538.80. We wanted SPY to be below its pre-market low line. What we were hoping for, if the Qs got below that line, was a move all the way down to 537.83. As you could see, well, we closed below the blue line 1 minute before the market opened, 2 minutes before, and then it just started to fall down from there. So we couldn't really get into that trade at that point. However, after we opened, we did close below support. We had huge ADD candle at the open, which was a little surprising. But we saw a wick starting to grow on the top of that candle, which was giving us a little bit more confidence that that crazy burst of buying was not looking like it was struggling to stay or be sustainable. Fortunately, ADD started to drop significantly and pretty much has been doing so all day. But lo and behold, we got a little bit of a pullback here to resistance. Said everybody, Qs, SPY, everybody's at resistance. As long as we could stay below this resistance area here, we'd be hoping that ADD now at this point was printing nice red candles, gives us the weight that we need to pull through. Ultimately, the Qs made it down to support, so we were hoping to go from line to line on the Qs. You did that, but SPY wasn't really reacting the same way as Qs were. So at first, it started to feel a little awkward to be in this trade because the Qs were struggling to move lower. SPY wasn't going up or down, really. And the reason that is because ADD was moving down aggressively enough while Qs was not, just to keep SPY moving sideways. So that's what kept a lot of folks in this trade. And then finally, we got a nice drop down. And again, I left an F-150 on the table today, but I don't even care because this trade right here, getting in up here, basically simply because we closed below support and we were hoping to at least make it down to the next support, but all the things didn't work out until ADD started to become a better factor in our benefit. Then we got a nice quick move to the downside. We had a whole bunch of people get this trade right here. That ended up being, for me, a 42.1% win. Plenty good enough for me, and I was extremely happy with that until I saw what continued to happen. And then it's amazing how much less happy we become, even though we made good money there, right? Under any circumstance, on any other day of the week, you would be thrilled, or at least I am. For me, a 42% win is a home run. Okay, these are not normal returns for me as far as percentages go. So when I get a trade like that, for me, that's a big deal. Okay, and extremely happy to get that. And then I felt like I did the right thing when I got out here. Now, this was a mechanical stop we had placed, and I told everybody once we closed below the support or moved below it, I said, you guys want to start tightening up your stops. As we were pushing through this line on the Qs, I told everybody in the live audio, hey, I'm setting my mechanical stop now. I'm hoping that the Qs close below this line and continue down. On that same very candle, this pullback right here, that wick, that pullback is what stopped me out of the trade. So is it annoying after the fact when you look at a chart that's already printed and say, oh my God, I could have made another 300 or 400% on that? Of course it is. But if you tell yourself that, you beat yourself up about it, the next time you're put in a situation to consider taking profits because you're hitting a support level on both charts and you choose not to do it, that's going to be the time that support ends up being the low a day, and then it turns around and goes north and rips your face off. That's what I've come to find, and that's why when I want to take the risk of holding onto a trade longer than what I had originally planned to, I will put a mechanical stop in place so that it's taken out of my hands. Okay, if I get stopped out, it won't be because I had to choose to do so. It'll be because my brokerage got triggered to sell the order. And that's what happened here, because trust me, I wanted to hold on to this trade longer because of what ADD was doing, but I have to be semi-responsible. And sometimes that responsibility kicks you out of a trade that ends up becoming a lot more of a trade. And then, of course, you have people who didn't take that, or didn't feel comfortable taking it. And the more we go down, the more uncomfortable it becomes to want to buy puts. You would think that you would start to gain more of a want to play puts. But there comes a time, especially if you're patient, that you watch it go down, 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 and down before you hit a spot where you say, it's gone down too much. I might be buying the bottom. So that becomes the reason you hesitate to take puts, even if the setup is right. And then you sometimes turn into only wanting to buy calls because this has to be the bottom, and I'm going to catch the bottom and I'm going to make my money on the way back up. Today, that would have been an expensive venture for anybody who tried to play that way. So we did talk about that a lot today. But the only other trade we saw, we looked for a trade setup after all of this here. We were respecting trend lines. We were putting in lower highs. I said, guys, let's just wait for a break of this support. If we can get through that support, we'd be looking for the move to get at least down to 540 or 534.63. And as we close below these lines, those supports become your resistances or your stop losses if you want to hang on to the trade. If you play by that rule and you keep an eye on ADD, momentum's still on your favor. I mean, you could have caught a whole lot more of this trade to the downside. So there's no circle here because there were several opportunities where you could have considered taking profits each time you hit a line or whatever the case is. But lo and behold, when you get to that pink line's the stink line. All right, and then ultimately we ended up breaking the downtrend, and shortly after that, I was getting off the mic. And of course, when I get off the mic, it starts to sell off again, and it's still selling off. So kudos to anybody who played puts this morning or at any point today. It was pretty much the only way to go. ADD is still selling off, and, well, the market's not happy right now. With that said, this is pretty much going to be the end of this video, guys. I'm trying to make these a little bit shorter for you. By now, if you watch my videos, you understand everything that I'm looking for in my trade in what it is that I look for setups wise. I'm going to remake the How I Trade Spy series. It's not a series. It's a video I made a long time ago, but my video quality is better, my audio quality is better, all that stuff. So I want to remake it, and I have some new rules that have turned into game changers for me. So be on the lookout for that. But if you got any valuable information in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join our Discord community, we'd love to have you. There's a link down below. And if you'd like to buy a good trading book, go pick it up on Amazon. It looks just like this, and it's turned out to be far more helpful for the people within my community than I ever thought it would be. So maybe it can do the same for you. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you all had a fantastic day in the markets today. I hope you have a great weekend. Until Monday, I love you guys. See you.